The fact that Washington and the Washington establishment has tried so hard to stop our campaign is only more proof that our campaign represents the kind of change that only arrives once in a lifetime. What follows is my 100-day action plan to make America great again. It's a contract between Donald J. Trump and the American voter, and it begins with bringing honesty, accountability, and change to Washington, D.C. Therefore, on the first day of my term of office, my administration will immediately pursue the following 6 measures to clean up the corruption and special interest collusion in Washington. First, a constitutional amendment to impose term limits on all members of Congress. Second, a hiring freeze on all federal employees to reduce federal workforce through attrition, exempting military, public safety, and public health. Third, a requirement that for every new federal regulation, 2 existing regulations must be eliminated. Regulations are killing our country and our jobs. Fourth, a 5-year ban on White House and congressional officials becoming lobbyists after they leave government service, making a fortune. Fifth, a lifetime ban on White House officials lobbying on behalf of a foreign government. Very bad. 6, a complete ban on foreign lobbyists raising money for American elections. That's what's happening. We will begin removing the more than 2 million criminal illegal immigrants from the country. These are drug dealers, gang heads, gang members, killers, and cancel visas to foreign countries that won't take them back. Immigration is a privilege, and we should not let anyone into this country who doesn't support our communities, all of our communities, every single one of them. America has already admitted 4 times more immigrants than any country on earth, anybody in the world, 4 times more, at least, because we don't even know who's coming in. And we continue to admit millions more with no real checks or scrutiny. Not surprisingly, wages for our workers haven't budged in almost 20 years. This is not an act of offense against anyone. It's really an act of defense. I want us, all of us, to work together. We have to form a partnership with our Muslim communities. We have Muslim communities in this country that are great, and we have to form that partnership. Now, the Muslim community, so importantly, they have to work with us. They have to cooperate with law enforcement. Our new goal must be to defeat Islamic terrorism, not nation building. No more nation building. It's never going to work. And by the way, we've spent almost $5 trillion over the years on trying to nation build in the Middle East. And it has been a complete and total disaster. We're further away now than we were 15 years ago. When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. But I speak to border guards, and they tell us what we're getting.
Sean Moran has been patrolling here for 2 decades. He's a union man, and his union of 17,000 border agents has come out for Trump.
Mr. Trump seems to be the only candidate that's actually talking about border enforcement and fixing the immigration laws of the United States. It all comes down to, this is a country built on the rule of law, and over the past few decades we have carved out entire sections of our immigration laws and just ignored them.
On the other side of the border, they're not quite so keen.
Joining us now with reaction, Fox News contributors Tucker Carlson, Monica Crowley, and the host of Justice, Judge Jeanine Pirro. Judge, that doesn't surprise me. The MRC is there, but also WikiLeaks. They had the names of 65 so-called journalists that they're whining and dining, and then the names of all the others that they're colluding with, from Politico, the New York Times, CNBC, CNN, MSNBC. It's all there. I said in 2008, journalism is dead. You're all a bunch of hacks, phonies, liars, and you're corrupt. And they lecture me because I'm honest and I say I give opinion.
You know what this shows, Sean? It shows that there is an octopus of connections. And that's
Octopus
what...
of?
Yeah, an octopus of connections.
Yeah.
And it's all related to power and money.
That we know for certain, and that is that the system as we know it, I'm talking now about the mainstream media, all press, it's collapsed. Journalism has actually collapsed. It ain't like it used to be, and it ain't like it's supposed to be. I mean, it's unprecedented with regard to what's going on. I mean, you got broadcasters and networks like CBS, NBC, ABC, major newspapers across America and every country in the free world is working very, very hard to keep Trump out of the Oval Office. And again, there's no precedent to this in modern time, foreign time, back time, pick your verbiage. I mean, there's no foreign enemy, no terror group, no native criminal gang that suffers the daily beating that Trump does. I mean, think about that. He gets beat up more than ISIS, more than anyone else in the entire world. The press, journalism, again, as we think we knew it, or used to know it, their job, I guess, is to keep him out of the Oval Office, and they lie, they cheat, and they say things that aren't true.
People compared to sheep in being docile, foolish, or easily led. Humans, along with many other species, including sheep, make decisions based upon the actions of others every day. It's a form of group mentality, or group think, and may cause what's called de-individuation. Small groups, such as families, are a necessity for survival, and the human brain is actually set up for social life. Without any organization or obvious rules, society just falls into place. Unfortunately, the follow the herd mentality, which happens in large groups, isn't always beneficial to us. If we're not fully knowledgeable about a subject, we tend to follow the guy who appears to know more than we do. How about riots or mob mentality? According to the University of Leeds study, a mob of 100 people could be swayed and influenced by only 5 informed individuals. And an informed individual could just mean someone who is well versed on the subject we're discussing right now. Imagine 95 people running around unaware and 5 people manipulating all of them. The math goes up from there. The higher the number, the worse the ratio, until most don't even know who the shepherds are anymore, simply following the one in front of them, assuming that person knows. Corruption hides itself in large groups. Is this a complete loss of individual identity or a corrupt individual? Either way, it isn't good. Sorry, Hillary, but you were the most obvious. For example, at a sporting event, a political rally, or a music concert someone attends. It's unlikely that they would have yelled or cheered if they were the only one doing it. A good defense to mob or group mentality is be cautious of large groups or large crowds. Be aware of the herd mentality. Watch out for other people who encourage you to join and do things you would not normally do. Simply fade into the background, and others who are caught up in the chaos will not notice you. Remember, it's